Hello, everybody. It's 38425 here, bringing another video. And today we're going to be finishing our series of the 2020 roster breakdown for the Miami Dolphins. This episode with defensive backs. So before we get into it, though, guys, make sure to drop the like button if you enjoy and subscribe for daily Dolphins content. Okay, let's get into it. I'm not going to talk about every guy on this list. A lot of these guys I don't really know too much about, and or most likely not going to be on the team come September. So we're only going to focus on 6 guys today, and that first one is going to be at the top of the list here, Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard only played a few games last year, coming off an injury. He had knee surgery, I believe it was. And as of now, he's on the physically unable to perform list. This tells me either, he's still injured and he needs, a little bit more time to heal up before he can join his teammates in training camp, or it tells me that the Dolphins are trying to trade him. I hope it is the first one because I bought an Xavier Howard jersey because I really like the way he plays. But it could be that they are trading him. It would be tough with the contract he has. Um, but I think they could get some compensation for it because he is a very good lockdown man corner, which is exactly what this defense needs. Um, he plays great. I mean, the one game that he really even got to play in last year against the Steelers, he was locking down Juju all day, got a pick, stuff like that, things he was doing all year in 2018. And I expect him to do that again, being the number 2 corner now on this team behind Byron Jones. But at this rate, with the way he was playing, it could be because of his domestic abuse charges that he had last winter, but were dropped. So I think Brian Flores may have a problem with him, or it could be that he just needs more time to fix that knee up. Um, but at this point, the way things are going, I would be surprised if Xavier is ready week one. I hope he is. Seeing him and Byron Jones play together would be great. But just being realistic, which is one of the reasons I believe they drafted Noah Igbenogany. That's right. Um, I think maybe it could have been injured or it could be because they're trying to trade Xavier Howard. It's hard to tell. Um, but the one thing this defense runs off the most is lockdown man corners. That's what Noah Igbenogany did at Auburn. He was a wide receiver turned into a corner and was playing at a high level and only a little bit of experience at corner. So if he continues to grow at corner, he's going to make it better and better and better. And I think he's actually kind of a steal at pick 30, depending on if he continues to improve there. He's athletic, he's fast, he returned kicks for the Tigers, Auburn Tigers, and actually got a touchdown, I believe. And so we either drafted him with the 30th pick in the first round because we're afraid of injuries and that is the most important position on our defense, so we need backups there, or because Xavier Howard might be on the way out, which I hope it is not true. I would love to see Xavier and Byron Jones play side by side as lockdown man corners in their prime. But no Igbenogany, I think when I first saw the pick, I was like, what? Who? Why a corner? We don't need corner. But after thinking about it and realizing how important tight man coverage corners are in this defense, it makes a lot more sense. So Noah Iganagani with the 30th pick in the first round, a nice young rookie to develop and play as third to Xavier Howard or Byron Jones, or if Xavier Howard's at the door, play as our second corner. So moving on is Byron Jones. We handed him out a huge contract this offseason, making him, I believe, the highest paid corner in the league or second. I can't remember. But we bring him in. He played safety early in his career with the Cowboys, and then moved into cornerback position. And when he played the Cowboys, he really did well when he was playing man defense. When he switched to zone defense, he would not play as well. And that is one of the reasons he didn't make the Pro Bowl and stuff last year as he did the year before, is because they were playing a lot of zone in Dallas. So we're going to be playing to Byron Jones' strength, which is just man up, put him on the edge, make him to guard the number one receiver for that team, and he'll lock him down usually. Everybody always looks at him as like, oh, he has no picks. Picks are so can be a very misleading stat. There can be a player that gets 5 interceptions, but four of them were tipped balls. You know what I mean? If he's breaking up passes, I think pass deflections is a much better stat to look at. If you're breaking up passes, which he does a lot, you are going to. I think that's a good sign, and he does that. He plays tight man coverage, and since we are playing more man defense, I could see that pick rate going up. I'm pretty sure he's going to have the highest picks of his career this season, just because he only has one. I think his entire career. So I can definitely see that going up. He's going to be our number one corner. He's going to be locked down for hopefully the entire length of his contract. I love the pick. He's that position is just so important for this defense. If that position locks their receiver down, this defense will thrive, and I mean thrive. And I believe man defense is the way to shut down these great quarterbacks. They can pick apart zone all day. People like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're going to pick apart zone defense. You have to play man coverage in order to beat them. And having guys like Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, adding Noah Ganogany allows us to do that. Moving on to maybe our third corner this year or fourth, depending on how Noah Iganagani plays or if Xavier Howard plays, is Nick Needham. Now, he was our number one corner for a lot of last year, and he played like a number one corner should. I mean, he was locking down good receivers. There were times, he got exposed, but he was an undrafted rookie. You can't really expect too much from him. But as an undrafted rookie, he played very, very well and gave a lot of hope for Dolphins fans. With Noah Igbinoghene and Nick Needham as our backups, I think we have a lot of depth at that position. And if Byron Jones or Xavier Howard go down with the injury, which hopefully they don't, we have the next guy up who is going to be very good. So I think having those four guys as our top four corners allows this defense to run smoothly. I think that's why we spent a first round pick on a corner. I think that's why we'll continue to invest in that position just because it is so important for Brian Flores' defense. Um, this defense runs from the back to the front, not the front to the back, and that is apparent by where they're putting their resources with a first round pick this year, and also two huge contracts with Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Moving on to Eric Rowe. It has him listed here as a cornerback, but he's not a cornerback anymore. He is a safety for this team. I believe he had the best PFF grade against tight ends. If we needed someone to guard a tight end, Eric Rowe was the guy, and he did it perfectly, almost perfectly. I mean, as good as you could possibly ask. If we're going up against the Chiefs and need somebody to lock down Travis Kelce, Eric Rowe is going to be able to do that. He played incredible in that role. Eric Rowe was a mediocre player in New England, and we turned him into a great safety just because we put him in his strength, what he was good at doing. Which is why it doesn't make sense why Minka left, because he was going to be put in his strength. This was the first week a new coaching staff was able to get in there, and he just gave up on the team. Good riddance, right? But anyway, we got Eric Rowe there, who is going to take down and guard that tight end all the time. So he's more of a safety than he is a corner. I guess you could call him a nickel corner at some points, but I would consider him more as a starting safety for this team. Another, going back to interceptions don't matter. If you look at Minkah Fitzpatrick's interceptions where he got all pro, most of those interceptions were just Hail Marys that the quarterback overthrew or tip balls. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the last DB we're going to talk about in this video, Bobby McCain. Now, Bobby McCain was also a cornerback, moved to safety. To be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about him yet. He's always been a decent player for us. As long as he can stay healthy and, he does what he needs to do, I'm, very comfortable with him being a starting free safety on this team. There were plays last year where he was a good ranging free safety where he was able to get to a play way over on the other side of the field and make a pass breakup. He's a good tackler as well, which I think is an underrated thing for safeties. So having him as a free safety isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think obviously that's a position we could upgrade, but Bob McCain is definitely a solid starter there. So looking at this secondary, with our starting cornerbacks being Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, with backups Noah Igbinoghene and Nick Needham, those cornerbacks are deadly. That may be the best cornerback unit in the entire NFL. And then you look at our safeties like Eric Rowe and Bob McCain. Those guys are good. They do what they do and they do it well. They're not gonna wow you or anything like that. Although Eric Rowe does wow with how he guards tight ends, but they're solid, right? If this secondary can stay healthy and gel, it's gonna be one of the best in the league. So looking at that, we're gonna just take a quick minute to look at our kicker and punter. As obviously I wasn't gonna make a full video just for them. Jason Sanders, I like him. He just needs to be a little bit more accurate, and he's a fine kicker. We always just get new kickers. He'll eventually expire his contract, and we'll just draft another one. I'm sure of it. He's not a guy you're gonna resign. Matt Hack, one of the best punters in the league, in my opinion. He's gonna pin the team down. He's very good at that. And he's got a heck of a leg. So kicker and punter should be there until their contracts expire, and then we will probably just draft new ones, although Matt Hack may get a contract if he's not asking for too much money. But that was it, guys. We have just gone over, in the span of a week, I believe it was, the entire Miami Dolphins roster: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, tight ends, defensive line, linebackers, safeties, and even a couple minutes for the kickers. So Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this little series we did? What did you guys think about my opinions? Are you excited about this roster? Do you think this roster is talented? One of the talented ones we've had in a while? Let me know, guys. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see these young guys play, and it should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.